returning things. So, as I was saying, we're back at the main slide. We're Flrysh here at the Center for Spiritual Living. The next slide shows us our connection with the Order of the Sacred Earth and the vow that we all just took, which I think we all remember, but let's do it again for those live streaming from home. I promise to be the best lover and defender of the earth that I can be. Yes, and we're also connected with IONS, which is, the short version of saying the Institute of Noetic Sciences. Yes. And we are officially called the Granada Hills Flrysh IONS Community Group, which is a lot of words. Yeah. But, can you go to the next slide? So we have the cool IONS picture, which is everything is interconnected, is the basis of what they believe. And they are a nonprofit organization dedicated to research and education on consciousness, human potential, and personal and social transformation. So we're all about all that. So I think that's it for the slides for now. And now I'm just going to talk at you a little bit. I'm excited about recycling and upcycling. That's the theme for this month. And really, as important as recycling is, we're going to take it to the next level. We're going to talk about all different ways we can get creative with recycling and reusing and take the 3 R's, reduce, reuse, recycle, and make it 5 R's. Yeah, we're aiming high, 3 to 5. So first, let's get a little inspiration. Do you have our first music video queued up, which is the 3-minute one, I believe? All right, so let's watch that first to get a visual of why we need to start recycling and getting creative about it.
Tengo 13 años y toco el violín.
Me llamo Juan Manuel Chávez, más conocido como Baby. Tengo 19 años y toco el cello. Este cello está hecho de una lata de aceite, la madera tirada en la basura y las clavijas son de una vieja cuchara para golpear la carne y para hacer el ñoquis. Y suena así.
Una comunidad como Cateura no es un lugar para tener un violín. De hecho, un violín cuesta más que su casa.
En ese grupo acá mismo encontramos el colador de violín. Y de ese empezamos los instrumentos reciclados. La familia que acá vive recicla todo lo que hay en la basura y se vende. No pensaba antes que yo voy a hacer ese instrumento. Y me siento demasiado feliz cuando estoy viendo a un niño que está tocando un violín reciclado.
Cuando ya escucho el sonido del violín, siento como mariposas en el estómago, así una sensación que no sé cómo voy a explicar.
La orquesta de instrumentos reciclados es una orquesta que toca instrumentos hechos con la basura.
1, 2, 3.
Y mi vida sería... Sin la música estaría increíble.
La gente se da cuenta que no tenemos que tirar la basura muy fácilmente. Y no tenemos que desechar a las personas muy fácilmente.
shows the human spirit and the creativity
It's
and strength.
working.
Oh, hold that video for a few minutes. Surprise is ruined. YouTube, it just rolls to the next one. It's the autoplay, yeah. So reduce, reuse, recycle is important because there's nowhere that trash goes away. It ends up somewhere. It piles up. It takes up space that could be used for living and sharing and growing fruits and vegetables, and it's poisonous. It seeps into, there's so many reasons. And that's not the first time I've seen people living around trash heaps. I remember when I worked for Young Asia Television, we did a story in Bangladesh where there's a whole community of trash pickers, and they live very similarly to this, where they find what they can and make use of it. So, but imagine what those resilient, strong, creative people could do if they didn't have to dig through trash every day. So the 5 R's, from reduce, reuse, recycle, we're going to step back one step, which is to refuse. We're going to refuse unnecessary purchases and refuse unnecessary packaging. So refuse, if you look at it, it could look like refuse. Yeah, so if you don't refuse, you end up with refuse. I got these tips on 5R from the Zero Waste movement. There's a woman named Bea Johnson who wrote a book about it, and she did a TED Talk that I watched. And she was talking about how you can go to places like Sprouts and they have things in bulk and loose, so you bring your own packaging, and you can buy it loose like that and then take it home and put it into a glass container that you reuse repeatedly. She's got it down to like 1 jar of waste that her family does in like a year. Wow. I'm not sure how to do that, but we can start in small ways and work up to it. And watch her videos and read her book. Bea Johnson is her name again. So another way so where did the rest of my R's go? Oh, there it is. Page 2 is over there. See, I told you. But I did use 2 sides of this paper. It's just one side's upside down and it's out of order. But I'm still going to reuse it. Another R, so reduce, reuse, recycle are the regular 3 R's, to reduce our carbon footprint, to reuse what we already have instead of throwing it away, and to recycle as often as possible. And I was surprised. I even brought a little visual aid here, which now I don't know how to gracefully get back there to get it. I noticed on my Morningstar Farms veggie burger griller that on the back it has a recycle sign with a strike through it. This is not recyclable. And it has a link to a website called howtorecycle.com, which tells you what is recyclable and what isn't. When we put in the recycling bin things that aren't actually recyclable or that contaminate the things that are, it actually creates a little bit more of a problem. So this is where we can educate ourselves on recycling, that it's not a catch-all solution for everything that we use. And then the 5th R is for rot, which is, squishy and fun to think about. But compost is what she means by rot. That's Bea Johnson's word. And the city is encouraging composting too. I didn't know this until recently. You can put your fruits and vegetables in the green bin with yard trimmings. I thought it was just yard trimmings. But the city creates mulch that you can go to one of the centers and take away for free. You have to bring your own container and shovel. But I'm going to go Saturday, so if anybody wants to come with me, it's in Silmar. I have the information here. It's the Lopez Canyon Center. And they're going to teach how to compost, and then there's an organic gardening workshop after, and it's free. The city is teaching us how to do this. It's 9 a.m. to 11 a.m. Yeah, it says there's no cost to attend, but for $20, and you need to bring a check, they have compost bins and free mulch and different.
You have to be bring proof of residence.
Okay.
Your DWP.
So an ID and your checkbook. Okay, very good. So, you know, we can go in and I'll get dirty together. Yeah, Sylvia.
Well, if you want just the mulch, there's 2 places in the valley. Then,
Are they free?
yeah, but
Oh.
you probably get to go early enough because they're gone.
Right, okay, that's good because that means a lot of people know.
Victory.
Mm-hmm.
405's here. I can't remember what that little street is.
Okay.
And it's kind of on a corner, and it's all piled up. And the other one is, I get a little confused where this one is. It's south of Roscoe.
Okay.
Isn't there, Brown, the transit, Havenhurst. Thank you.
Okay, Roscoe and Havenhurst is one, and Victory, and somewhere along Victory. Okay.
And,
You can get free mulch,
your own barrel,
which is part of recycling the earth. It's nutrient-rich dirt to grow great fruits, vegetables, flowers, everything in. Put it around our trees. It's all good stuff. So LA Sanitation and Environment is their actual title, and they have 3 main program areas. One is clean water, watershed protection, and the third is solid resources. So the mulch is all part of solid resources. And watershed protection, one of the pictures they show is the Japanese garden, which is just down Woodley, and it's a water reclamation plant, which is a way of recycling water. Oh, we have a wireless mic for Sylvia, but I think she's done now. Do you want to repeat it for the live streamer? So I think I repeated it, so.
Yeah, I think she did.
All right. So you want to keep it nearby. Who wants to be the monitor of the wireless mic? Chloe wants to be, or Andrea. Okay, very good. Thank you, Chloe. So for our field trip, part 1 is we're going to go to the Japanese garden. It's zen and beautiful and peaceful, and it's recycled water, and it's a beautiful idea of ways that we can reuse. And it's only open Monday through Thursday and then on Sundays. So I want you all to think about when you think the best time for all of us to go would be, and we'll plan around you all. And we'll get back to that. It's $5 only for adults, $3 for seniors over the age of 62, and $3 for children 12 and under. So it's pretty affordable. So I have this, if anybody wants a copy of this, it's exactly what you can put into each of your bins. I found it very comforting to see it printed that I can put my apple cores in the green bin, see a picture. I need, infographics. And I have information about the workshops available at these different centers to do mulch and gardening and all of those things. And I think it's next to a landfill, this Lopez Center, which is... I'm curious. I want to visit a landfill just because I'm curious about it. So now let's talk about other creative ways we can recycle with our guest today, Elvira Zamora. Would you like to come up? Come on down or up. So Elvira I found because I was doing an online search for upcycled fashion. Mm-hmm. And this is the first time we're meeting. I just invited her to come chat with us, and she said yes. Thank you.
Thank you for inviting me.
Of course. So tell us about your website, wardrobedivas.com.
It started 18 years ago.
Wow.
Yeah, and my dad had a tailor shop, and I just kind of wanted to sell women's clothes and accessories, something I'm very drawn to. So I just started a small business in his shop, and even though now he's retired, now it's online, and I do pop-up shows and fashion shows and anything that's fashion related.
Okay, so how did you get into the upcycling part of it? Were there remnants around the tailor shop that you thought looked interesting?
There's always, leftovers of trim, and, my dad would never throw anything out because you never know when you can use a nice, cool button that used to belong to a jacket on something else, and zippers. If your dress stains or doesn't fit or whatever, you could still take out the zipper and use it on something else. So there's always ways to recycle and use all the leftover parts and kind of Frankenstein something else. And we're from Peru, so we come from one of the many countries in America where we grew up with recycling. So when we came to the United States, it was very weird to us that we now have them. But before, back in 1991, we didn't have our own shopping bags, and that didn't make any sense to us at all. We're like, what's up with all these bags, the plastic bags and the paper bags? You never had that. You had always a big shopping bag or a cart or whatever, and you would shop over there. And you would never get bags. You would get also the newspapers. That's how they would wrap up your vegetables and whatever, even your meats, because you just go home and wash it anyway. You're not going to eat it, dirty. So we
Right.
were very used to recycling. Also, when it came to sodas or drinks, you would they would all be in glass containers. You would drink them, and then you would leave the glass containers outside of your house, and then the guy or the company or whatever would come by, pick them up, and you just would never throw anything out. So this is something for our culture that we've always been used to. And here we had to get used to throwing it away, replacing it, buying more. And the only reason why I believe it's because it's a good money maker for the big companies.
Well, and I think too, what happens is these companies get a good idea, and everybody jumps on it, and then other companies jump on it, and soon it's the only thing happening. And they have to use marketers to train us to think that what they're selling us is better than what we already had, and it just gets out of control. So there was a time in America where the milkman would leave the glass bottles on the doorstep, and I lived in Sri Lanka for many years, and what you described with bringing your own bags and wrapping things in newspapers, still how they do it there in a lot of ways. And then they try to get modern, and then it becomes more of the wastefulness. So again, we kind of have to go back to the old ways that were sustainable and use all the stuff that we've made already in the meantime.
Yes, and also with my dad's profession as a tailor, you wouldn't really throw too many things out. If your pants don't fit, he could take them in or bring them out. But with the culture and how you said now, more modern things like, oh, this doesn't fit, get a new one. Oh, I don't want this. And as much as you think you are donating something, it doesn't do anything. It ends up going back to other countries where they don't even want it. It, like you said, it doesn't end up being used the way you think it is, even if you are not exactly throwing it away or you're donating it.
Right.
So I saw a document. I've been looking at many documentaries before I started to do my own green fashion research, and I understand that we all like to buy, lesser costings. I love a bargain. Who doesn't? But by you spending less, you're hurting the planet more, and it makes sense when there's no way that a pair of jeans can be sold for 10, 12, 15 bucks. It doesn't make
so
any sense.
So that's evidence that it's a mass-produced thing where it's not sustainable in the human resources either, because they're probably not paying those people properly or giving them enough breaks, or
Yes,
and they're probably
and
children,
even if you take the people side out of it, what it takes to create a pair of denim jeans is a lot of water to dye it, to process it, and then all this excess, that gets left over after creating the denim goes back into our water, and then the animals get contaminated. It's just a big bad circle, all because they want to cut the cost, not do it green and make it cheaper, so that we can buy $15 pair of jeans at Old Navy or wherever they're selling them at. So I kind of started thinking about that too. It's like, okay, I'll spend a little more, but your jeans are meant to last almost forever.
Yeah.
It takes a lot to break down jeans, even if they start tearing apart. And the more you use them, the better they even look and fit. So there's no reason why jeans should be thrown out once a month, once every 6 months, just to get another one. It's a horrifically bad cycle, along with other threads and practices. So I thought, you know what, going forward, if I have any material or anything that I can recycle, if you buy anything vintage or if you go to the secondhand stores, you're basically participating in green fashion. So that's good. And then also any shop that kind of sells them for more, because they also are participating in providing their employees with actual benefits, and they're not being poisoned, and they're not children, and they have what's called a I have to look at my phone.
Okay.
But there's an actual certification for
Yeah,
certain companies that use green practices, and they've
So
been
you
certified.
can look at the tag of the shirts too. I worked for a while for an organization in Sri Lanka called Garments Without Guilt, and it promoted this sort of sustainable fashion, and they made sure that everybody working in the factories in Sri Lanka, so any item you see that has made in Sri Lanka on the tag, you know that the people make a good wage, have proper time off, there are no children working, and that they use sustainable practices so that it doesn't poison the environment.
And what that's called is WRAP, a WRAP certified factory. So a
Okay.
WRAP certified factory is
Is it WRAP?
yes, and I forgot what the acronym is for, but basically it's what you described, that everything is legit, including, the green practices. So I do sell merch with T-shirts and things like that, but the distributor I get it from is from a WRAP company, which I pay more for, but other places that are paying like 50 cents a shirt or $1, it's because it's, they're not getting this certification. And I'd rather pay more and produce something that I feel good about as opposed to contributing to more of the mass trash.
Right.
And that's pretty much how I started all that. I just had to change everything around from what I was doing. And if you don't shop every week or every month all the time anyway, you'll still save money. It's, you just kind of like, you don't think so because your shirt's $7, $8 or whatever. Oh, it's nothing. But if you times that by how many times you're shopping, you really are spending a lot of money when you can just invest in good jeans,
Right.
good
Invest
jackets.
is the
Yeah,
key word
there
there.
are clothes that will last you a lifetime. Just invest in the right,
Pieces,
pieces,
yeah.
and they will
So
last.
the zero waste woman, she said that each member of her family, their entire closet, their entire wardrobe fits in a carry-on bag. And so what they do is they rent out their home and they go on vacation and they have all of their clothes with them in a carry-on bag.
Oh my gosh.
Yeah. And so they make money. They basically get free vacations because people are paying to, rent their house while they're
Right.
traveling.
Wow.
So that's another way to creatively recycle.
Yes.
But she definitely, when you see her speak, she's dressed very stylishly. And it's because the few pieces that she has selected are flattering on her and they are timeless. And so she can select those. But also, one of the things I love about, reusing clothes is if you're creative and you know how to do it, you can create individual looks. You can create unique pieces that only you have because you're the one who put it together. If you take sleeves from one shirt and the body from another or something like that. And that's what it looked like, some of the pieces that you do have used that kind of Frankenstein, like you said.
I do it with my own wardrobe. I have an Instagram page where I always have different looks, and people don't realize that I pretty much have shot pictures in the same look like 6 or 7 times. They don't see that it's a dress, that now it's a skirt, and now it's a top, then now it's over a jacket. It's not 6 different outfits. I just style them differently, but it still looks fun. So you don't have to look like you're wearing the same thing every day and sacrifice your personal style whatsoever. Because I like to have fun, but you can just be a little more conscious on how you spend and how much you do, because it's just a lot. And I don't have pictures that I didn't send on time, but I can just show you if you want to just look. This is one runway dress that I created. Then I had another producer say, "Hey, I want you to do an event for me." And I said, okay, great. I used that dress and redid it again. And now I have an event coming up in June, and that dress is now a one piece. So I
Wow.
continue to use it over and over and over. This thing has been used like 4 times at this point because I refuse to, I don't have to. It's for a show. No one's going to wear this. It's just for fun, for people to get entertained and see something artistic. I don't need to spend time and more fabric. It's just, it's not necessary. And with that being said, I practice that on everything I do. And here's another picture. See if I can blow it up a little bit. But there's a dress right there that was used in one show.
Ooh, fancy.
And
It's
then
sparkly.
it turned into a different dress that was used in a photo shoot. And once
Okay.
again, for this other show that I have coming up, it's also become something else. So I just continue to do it over and over till there's nothing left. And even at home, when we have shirts that we no longer use, you know what? Let's use it as a rag. I have
Yeah.
5 rescue dogs. There's messes all the time. So we use it we just use it till their wheels come off. And I think that's how people should use everything in their lives.
Yeah.
And just, tear it up till
Exactly.
there's none of it left, So
You know what occurred to me when you were describing this is like grandparents who grew up during the Depression. And I've noticed that they kept everything because you didn't know when you might need it again, and you wouldn't be able to buy another one or find another one. And so I feel like I kind of learned that from my grandmother. And so I don't want to throw anything away. I have clothes that I love them so much, but I don't want to get rid of them because one of these days I'm going to cut it and make it into something else. And it's special to me also because I have a sentimental connection with it. So as long as I have the storage space for it, I'm going to hold on to those until I can do something creative and not get rid of it because it's something I already have. So it's using what we already have. And that's also the basis of abundance thinking is we already have so much. And if we start using everything we already have, then we feel rich and it's not about money. I saw a sign recently that said, some people are so poor, all they have is money. Aww. But the rest of us are rich in family relations and friends and, things that bring joy and love to our lives. Yeah, creativity is a big one.
Yeah, creativity is perfect for me because whenever you feel like, you're not in a great spot, you just release all your energy into something creative, whatever that may be, running, drawing, music, who cares? But just, release it. And this is what I like to do. Just anybody that has a crazy idea, they just call me like, can you make something? Sure. I have so many things.
I know where to go with all of my pieces of clothes that I have.
Yeah, and that's pretty, and I was very excited when you did mention green because I'm trying to just do as much as possible with green. Even putting
Very
shirts
cool.
on my dogs, like, okay, this old shirt, my dog can use the shirt. Let's just make a shirt for the dog or whatever,
I'm sure that could make you money too. You can market that.
Yeah.
People will buy shirts for their dogs.
You can create anything and make it into a wallet, it's just it's all the same. It really is. And even like the flowers, once they're dead, what we do is we throw them out in our backyard, just the way they are. And like maybe 4 days they disappear. The ground just eats it all up, so they don't go in the trash.
Right.
None of our fruits and veggies go in the trash. They all go in the backyard.
Neat.
And we have all kinds of trees and plants. We don't even know how we got them out of just throwing things out.
It's just nature.
Yeah, out of just throwing everything out, things just started popping, and we're like, sure, we're welcoming
Well,
all
I
of
mean,
it.
these all have seeds. Flowers have seeds. Fruit
Throw
has
'em all
seeds.
out.
Yeah.
Even
And
the
it
birds will
grows.
come and just peck at them, so they just go back into the earth like the recycle. So
Yeah.
sort of encouraging more of that in our house.
And life is creative. I mean, that is life. It creates from life and it goes in a cycle. And so when we're being creative, we are fully engaging in that cycle of life
Right.
and recycling of life.
Yeah.
So I think you're doing awesome stuff. I'm
Thank you.
excited to be connected.
Thank you.
Yes,
Thank
please
you.
Feel free to applaud. And now we know that we can find Elvira at wardrobedivas.com, and we can follow her on Instagram and see all of her looks.
Yes.
And when we have crazy ideas, we can come to you.
Thank you.
Thank you.
I appreciate that.
Okay, so I think we have another video now. Oh, wait, let me look. I have lots of pages, remember, that I put upside down. And yes, so I found somebody else that I had never met before. And there she is. I'm going to sit down and let you meet her as well. It's working! All right. Hello, Flyrishers. I'm here at Rebound. Is it Rebound? What is the full name of Rebound?
Well, it's Rebound Furniture and Consignment.
Rebound Furniture and Consignment with Jeanne Bulmer.
Bulmer.
And we're here in Woodland Hills on Ventura Boulevard. And tell us what you do here at Rebound.
Well, we basically upcycle furniture that's used by other people. That's our main concept. We also get returns from stores. We take returns from Wayfair. So we always have an updated look, and we always are pretty much on trend. We try to take pieces also that we get on closeout from different suppliers. So we're always pretty much having new inventory that is out there and you can currently purchase, but at a reasonable price.
And where did you get the idea for Rebound to upcycle things? Because it's a great idea to take things that are already made and in existence and just sort of give them new life.
Right.
So how did you come up with that?
Well, we'd started Rebound, my mom and I, and what is not necessarily something that people might think has been existing for years and years, but people have been selling secondhand forever, from swap meets down to even on Melrose. There was all of those stores that were selling high-end imported pieces or even secondhand high-end designer pieces. But bringing it to, say, San Fernando Valley and having a storefront is relatively new, whereas my mom would buy and sell at swap meets or at garage sales. You know, having a storefront was a new concept. And at the time, we were both recovering from breast cancer, and so we kind of wanted to reinvent ourselves. It was a similar time to when One Kings Lane had launched, believe it or not. And they were doing vintage furniture and selling on their website. And they sold for designers and for individuals. So it was featured in with an Entrepreneurial Digest edition. And so I was reading it and kind of wanting to start something fresh, and that's when the idea came about.
Wow. So is there a parallel between your recovery and recovering furniture to make it like new?
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, in everyone's life, we've all had some kind of a hardship, whether it be cancer, whether it be a loss of a loved one, whether, losing a job. I mean, there are so many restarts in our life that, Rebound is pretty much about that. And so that's why the name is so synonymous to what we do, because even these pieces of furniture get a new life by, with somebody else.
Yeah. And I noticed on your website that you do highlight the sustainability and recycling, how it benefits all of us. So tell us a little about that.
It's interesting because I was working to start getting returns from different manufacturers, different distributors. And I went out to a warehouse and I was astonished to see the size of the trash bin. And it was amazing how much is now disposed of. Because can you imagine that normally we would go to a store, we'd sit on a couch, we'd feel the couch, we'd rub on the couch. Nowadays, people buying online, they don't have the same opportunity. So when they get the furniture, a lot of times they have some very I don't know how you would say it, but desirable return policies. So you can pretty much have the couch for 6 months and then decide to return it. But where does that couch go? It can't be resold by the manufacturer. It can't be resold by the distributor. We are a great avenue to remarket the couch so long as it's clean and it's in good condition and there's no flaws. So, but for years they had just been throwing it away.
Wow.
In these giant bins. And it is so sad to think about our landfills and what it's doing to our environment. It's actually nauseating. When I was there, I really just left there feeling sick.
You went to a landfill?
No, I went to see I went to the location where we were picking up a truck to sell the contents, and just seeing the container with all of the disposable pieces that people have bought online that are no longer sellable in that bin, and it's like, this is what's happening.
And if you think of, if we were to just give that supposed trash to people who are homeless, they could build a home with it. They could, create a community with it.
And instead, it's basically what is sellable is now being sold by different, by us actually, but also by different liquidators. So it is getting a new life, and so that's a plus. And so that's why it's always a benefit for when people find out that we sell Wayfair returns, that they're like, oh, and they're really, I think people have the innate goodness in them that they want to do right by the environment given choice.
And being aware that it's an option. I just spent a few minutes walking around what I thought was the entire warehouse, and then realized there's a whole other room I haven't even seen.
Yeah.
So I was really excited at not only the amount, the number of things that you have, from chairs and tables to home decor, lamps, everything, but also the variety of styles. So what would you say is your aesthetic?
I would say that we don't have a specific aesthetic here.
Okay.
I think that, we are very designer brand driven. However, with that said, not everything, such as this table, is designer. It's just quality, and it might have a crack in it, and somebody could probably fill it, and it will be really great. So I think, though, what we really try to focus on, things that are current and what's selling. And if you could find it in, say, Architectural Digest or Elle Decor or on the Wayfair website, then we want to be able to have it as an opportunity for you to buy here. But as well, we want to also just sell things that are unique and different, and letting people have their own eclectic personality. So that's why we really try to have a variety.
Yeah, and it's wonderful.
Thank you.
Well,
we love it.
Thank you for letting us visit on
Thank
Flrysh
you.
and sharing your space with us for today.
Thanks.
And everybody, check it out. What is your website?
It's reboundstores.com.
Reboundstores.com, and come out to Woodland Hills and take a look for yourself. You might find something you love. All right. Thanks, everyone.
Thanks. Bye.
Can't keep up. So that was Jeannie from Rebound, and she is providing part 2 of our field trip. Let me put my water down. Reusable. It's glass. She's part 2 of our field trip. We'll be going to visit her store after we go to the Japanese gardens. And she was excited. She said she's even going to, bring some snacks for us, and we can sit around and do a Facebook Live in her shop. So once we figure out a date to go to the Japanese gardens, then we'll let her know, and we'll do a whole spectacular extravaganza. Yes, I will. I'll make sure people know, because I want you all to come. And she's the one who had the sign that said, "Some people are so poor, all they have is money." It was sitting on the table in front of us as we were talking. And the one that was on the side that you could see partly in the video said, "Do what you love," and love was really big. Love what you do. So it was like, love was just in the middle. So I think she's a positive person. She gets it. And that was the first time I had met her. So I'm glad you all got to meet her too. Okay, so now before we go to the second music video segment, I wanted to take a moment to let us all share from that abundance that we were talking about. Chloe, if you would be the lovely assistant who does the offering. And just collect a little bit to thank our hosts here at the Center for Spiritual Living in Granada Hills. And just bless this space and this community and this energy. So Chloe's going to bring something around, and we'll just, as she goes, envision it multiplying and growing up like a plant and being recycled like energy is, especially when it's invested with good, positive thoughts and intentions, that it starts here and it continues out and around to bring only good to each of us that have now connected to it. Thank you, Chloe. Maybe you know what to do with that. I don't. Andrea maybe knows? Okay. These are things I didn't work out beforehand. Thank you for playing along. Okay, so we saw the first part of the video about the recycled orchestra. So now we're going to watch, this is the official trailer for the documentary, and it shows a little bit more of their journey. It's been too.
¿Entienden? Bueno, entonces tienen que atender.
y toco el violín.
Ahí va.
A group of kids in Paraguay actually made all of the instruments out of trash.
Look at this. That's a fork, people.
Let the gift of music shine through tonight on that stage.
Influence on these children's lives that they can create the life they want out of anything they find. They don't need to be limited by anything. I think, and this movie, you can rent it on Amazon streaming. Look for it wherever you find movies. It's available. And I was just getting chills. I've watched this video several times. Are you crying? Oh, yeah. I love that. We got her. Yeah, I got chills watching it because I was watching it with all of you and feeling like, what were you thinking about it? But it's an inspiring story, and we can all do that. We don't need to have a landfill full of trash. We use what we have and do our best with it and be our most creative selves, however our creativity expresses. Okay, well, I have more time. We started late, but I'm finishing early. So does anybody have questions? Stephanie?
What about some original ideas for upcycling that people might want?
Okay. Do you have some that you want to share? Original ideas?
But, well, you've got your plants over here to share.
Right, and actually that was Stephanie's idea too, kind of. We have a cactus that sprouted many baby cacti, and so I brought them. We brought paper bags, which we already had in the house, and you can take home a little baby cacti that will grow very big and make bees happy.
But not a sticky cacti.
No,
It doesn't have stickers on
it isn't sticky or painful, yeah.
Yeah, hummingbirds liked it.
Oh, yeah, they did. So what was your idea?
This is loud. We do a lot of upcycling at our home, recycling, upcycling, and you know that. But one of the things we do that I think that has the most impact, other than we don't buy a lot of stuff. Everything I'm wearing is it either hand-me-down or from a secondhand store. And that's just what I love to do.
This is too. That was one of my. While you're talking, I'm going to get my second visual aid if I can reach it.
So one of the things that we do that was actually just born out of kind of a necessity is we recycle almost all of the water we use in the house is recycled gray water. So in the kitchen, we do not we actually have a shut-off under the house that does not allow the kitchen water to go into the sewer system.
Oh, wow.
So we just use buckets, basically, and all of those buckets that we use, probably hundreds of gallons a month, goes into our landscaping.
Wow.
So I think that's one of the things we do that has the most impact as far as environment is concerned.
And I was thinking today about collecting rainwater. I know in some ways it's kind of a health risk because mosquitoes lay their eggs in there and then we have more mosquitoes. But my father has the cure for that, which is to put little guppies in the water and then they'll eat the mosquito larvae and then you can use the water for your garden. And, washing down the, whatever, your car or whatever. So this is my shirt I got from ThreadUp. THREDUP. It's online, and I have the app on my phone, and it's all secondhand clothing. So it's stuff that people have either given away or extras from stores that it's not on trend or it didn't sell. And it's discounted, and it arrived in this cute envelope. So this is their signature look. And the envelope says, "Pushing the envelope on secondhand since 2009.
You can also sell, right? Your own
Yeah, you can pack up all the extra stuff you don't want and get credit for it too, so you can get new things in exchange for the stuff you send them. And it comes in this cute little tissue that says, "Let's stick together, hashtag secondhand first." And they have a campaign that they're doing now, Choose Used, I think it is, hashtag Choose Used. And Olivia Wilde, the actress, is helping promote it. And it's just to raise awareness about being a conscious consumer and choosing secondhand. Her name's Olivia Wilde, is the actress, but this is Thread Up. And let's see if it's on here somewhere. THREDUP. There it is.
And in Southern California, it's absolutely amazing what is in the thrift store. The quality of the goods and the the newness and
Yeah.
the designer labels. Not that, I mean, I don't really care about that, but
Yeah.
there's some amazing clothing at thrift stores.
I think one of the good things about living in Southern California is because of the weather the way it is, we don't ruin our clothes by wearing them so much because we're not sweating profusely all the time because the weather is nice. So things stay nicer longer. When I lived in Sri Lanka, my husband at the time is Sri Lankan. He was my husband. But he thought it was such a gross idea to wear somebody else's clothing. And it occurred to me that it's because they all sweat so much that you don't want to do that. When Elvira, you were talking about sending clothes to other countries that they don't want either. After the tsunami in 2004, countries all over the world sent clothes as well to Sri Lanka, but they were sending the wrong clothes for the environment. So they were sending winter coats and sweaters, and they were piling up. You would drive across the island and see these piles of clothes that nobody knew what to do with because they don't have the resources to ship them off somewhere. So,
I think some information, because bless people's hearts, they want to help,
yeah.
I get it, but they want to send everything, and with people that have just been in a natural disaster and don't have a home, don't have any use for a prom dress and 6-inch heels, but they'll send it. So if anyone has anything to give away, just Google real quick, and you'll find high school girls that will need the heels and the dress. You'll find shelter for women that have left and have nothing but the clothes on their backs and need clothes for the kids or for themselves. If you just Google, you'll find exactly where to send it, and not just bulk send it to like Salvation Army or to the whatever emergency, because it ends up as a landfill.
Yeah.
Because everything you have can go somewhere that actually someone really does need, a wedding dress or whatever.
Yeah, so it's being a conscious consumer and a conscious recycler, so that you give where the need is.
One of the things that I figured out.
Hey, Mom, Chloe's going to bring you the mic. But you need it for the live stream. You must think of our viewers.
Okay. One of the things that I discovered is that my older clothes look better today than the ones I bought last year, because the fabric is a better quality. And so I used to joke when I was at work, I'd tell some of the younger people there, I have clothes older than you. But they have lasted me all these years, and they still look nice. And yet the things I just bought last year look like I've had them for 100 years, and I've barely worn them at all, but one wash and they look... So it's...
Inexpensively made. There's a lot of space in between the weave of the fabric.
It's really an advantage to buy something
to
older,
invest, in an older
even
piece.
If you have to pay a little more for it because of the quality, you're going to get a longer use out of it than buying something like you say, the cheaper things. And
that reminds me of another thing about upcycling. You can make jewelry out of just about anything, but It's a way to recycle but make things pretty and use it in art. There's a lot of different art that you can find that has been made from discarded material, and they're playing music on the Landfill Harmonic with it, but it can be a beautiful piece that you just admire, or that brightens a room or a garden or something like that. But with jewelry, there were some organizations in Sri Lanka that were making jewelry out of the pop tops from cans, or they'd roll magazines into beads, or all different things. So we can again, it's about getting creative and supporting creativity wherever we can. Are there any other comments, questions? Yes, Chloe?
I like to borrow my mom's clothes.
That's a good way to do it.
I try not to share them, but usually when I'm being really a fashionista at my place, I can easily wear anything I want. Besides these, I can wear them. Because it turned out that my mom's other daughter handed this to her and then also landed to me. And for me, it was right in the spot. It was perfect. And there's my uncle lives in Copper in Colorado.
Okay.
So he just brought this over because I decided to wear it.
Very good, yeah. It's a way to share love too, isn't it? To give pieces of clothing that we might not like anymore, but a family member might really love, even if it's just to, wear around the house or as pajamas or something. It has that special connection and special meaning. Craft fairs, yeah. Right. Chloe, were you done? And when you're done, you can give it to Elvira so she can say that on the mic.
No, I like to wear different socks too. I got these shoes in Steinmart, and I had different shoes, but I like to be creative.
I like that about you. Yeah. Thank you. So, are you bringing it over to Elvira so she could say about craft fairs?
Yeah, I was just saying, if you want to support also people that use recycled materials, a lot of artists have found very creative ways, and like you said, jewelry and art. So if there's ever any craft fairs or any artists, art walks or anything like that, it's good for people to come out and support them so that they can continue to reuse all the trash and diminish. You'd be surprised how many creative, beautiful things they create. So just go out and support those.
Yeah, and we love art, and art is part of the beauty of life. That one girl in Landfill Harmonic who said, without music, my life would have no meaning. It's part of the richness of life to create art, and if we can do it from, are you raising your hand, young sir? See, that's what happens when you come late. And you miss the 2 film segments that we showed from Landfill Harmonic, which is probably just what you might think it is. So in our closing, do we have our slides up? I just want to say thank you and show some of the images. It's the last 3 or 4 slides. There we go. You would like them, and if you would like copies of which bins to use or the mulch workshops, come and let me know, and I'll go make copies just for you. Thank you. Yay. Now I have to clean up all my my visual aids. I got you water.